Scientific tips to survive wild animals' attack. However, some things are beyond your control, and the best way to appreciate the creatures of nature is from a safe distance. Here's a list of our top 10 suggestions on how to survive an attack by a wild animal, which we will be counting down today. Let's have a look at some techniques, tactics, and ideas that could be useful if you find yourself in a situation where you are getting too close to wild creatures. Number 10. Gorilla. You should be little and diminutive. In the outdoors, the likelihood of coming across a gorilla is extremely low. But if you are out on an adventure in the bush and you happen to lose your group and happen to come across one, the next step you take could very well save you a great deal of suffering. Gorillas are territorial animals, and when you reach their personal space, they typically view it as a challenge and will be aggressive toward you. The likelihood is that they will start making noises, banging their chests, and posturing themselves. You, on the other hand, should make yourself as little as possible by squatting low, averting your gazes, and gradually retracting your distance from them. If you are unable to demonstrate that you are willing to submit to the gorilla's authority, the gorilla will most likely launch an assault. Number 9. Lions. Be big, be loud is the motto. If you want to avoid getting up close and personal with a lion in the wild, you should do all in your power to avoid doing so unless you are under the supervision of a trained professional. If you find yourself in a precarious situation, you must choose a strategy that is opposed to the one that is utilized with gorillas. You may become prey to a lion if you give the impression that you are weak. You should instead make yourself appear as enormous and confident as possible by standing tall and speaking loudly. This will help you appear more confident. Both making eye contact and making noise, such as applauding, are essential since they convey confidence. Taking all of this into consideration, calmly retreat. Do not run. Hippos. Climb a tree is the 8th item. When you are in the presence of lions, climbing a tree is the very last thing you should do because they are unquestionably more skilled at climbing than you are. On the other hand, hippos are not quite as widespread. Even though they may appear to be charming, cuddly, lethargic, and docile, hippos are nevertheless capable of being rather aggressive. They are considered to be the most deadly large land mammal in Africa, if not the entire world, as they are responsible for approximately 500 deaths each year. They have a penchant for giving pursuit and are very quick, in addition to being quite territorial and protective of their young. It is quite improbable that you will be able to outrun them, therefore, climbing a tree to get out of their grasp can save your life. Number 7. Elephants. Instead, find a barrier. These stunning and one-of-a-kind creatures are frequently portrayed as gentle giants in popular media, a reputation that is only intensified by tourism, which allows visitors to get up close and personal with them while they are in captivity. However, there is no denying that in the wild, an elephant will attack if it perceives that it is being endangered, and when they do so, they can move quite a bit. There is a good chance that it will continue to charge after you if you run. Instead, you should take advantage of their size and quietly hide behind something like a large boulder or car. This will make it tough for them to approach you, and it will also allow you to conceal yourself from them. Number 6. Jellyfish. Be careful not to urinate on your leg. Even though it is one of the most widely believed myths in the entire animal world, this notion is still considered to be a myth. It's not only that urine does not alleviate the discomfort caused by a jellyfish sting, but it also has the potential to make the situation worse by stimulating the barbs to release more venom. Instead, you should rinse the injured region with the same liquid that the jellyfish that stung you most likely came from, which is the ocean. It is possible to deactivate the annoying nematocysts by using salt water. However, using fresh water or the urine of a well-hydrated person will only make the situation worse. It is of the utmost importance to keep a safe distance from jellyfish to avoid getting stung by them in the first place. Number 5. Snakes. Resist the urge to suck their venom. If you are bitten by a snake, it can be an extremely terrifying experience. Not only is the assault itself excruciating and terrible, but it is also a terrifying experience because the average person is unable to recognize a snake at first glance. This means that the prospect of venom is frequently a question mark that is filled with uneasiness. Even though you might be feeling desperate to get the venom out, you have been misled by all of those old westerns. Swallowing the venom will not help. In addition, tourniquets are not a good idea. It is in your best interest to keep the injured limb situated below the level of the heart to reduce the flow of blood, bandage the wound, and seek medical assistance as soon as possible, all while avoiding intense activity. Number 4. Cough and back up kangaroo. The act of coughing can save you from a losing battle with a kangaroo, even though it may sound ridiculous. You may simply imitate a low cough or grunt-like sound that is a symbol of submission between kangaroos. This is something that you can do while backing away from an angry kangaroo. The behavior of running is likely to provoke a chase, just like it does with many other animals, therefore it is best to avoid it, and instead follow the advised course of submissive, slow retreat. If you get down and avoid making eye contact, you will be able to contribute to the cause. If it is too late, you should wrap yourself into a protective ball rather than fight back. The kangaroo should lose interest in you once it no longer considers you to be a threat. Number 3. Flee from the alligators. We have some unfortunate news for you. If you have been caught off guard by an alligator, your odds of survival are not very good. Getting away from them before they have the opportunity to shut their formidable jaws on you is the most important thing you can do. The zigzag escape plan should be forgotten. Run quickly and in a straight line. Causing them to turn while they are pursuing you is not as advantageous as it has been made out to be. You are only making your escape more difficult and putting less distance between you and the alligator. As soon as they are on top of you, you should go for their most susceptible regions, which are their eyes and their nose. If you find a window, you should immediately run. Number 2. Sharks. You should focus on the eyes and the gills. Even great white sharks do not attack humans nearly as frequently as you have been led to believe they do, even though sharks have a reputation for being dangerous. If they do mistake you for prey, however, you need to have your wits about you because if you panic and swim away hurriedly, you will just make yourself appear more like prey. While facing the shark, slowly swim away from it in the opposite direction. If it comes close and attacks, you should aim for the eyes and the gills, which are the 2 regions of the shark that are most susceptible to attack. When you make it very evident that you are not an easy meal, the shark will leave you alone even more quickly and with a greater likelihood of doing so. Number 1. Grizzly bears, play dead. In part, because there are so many different kinds of bears, there is a lot of advice that contradicts itself regarding how to survive encounters with bears. Arguably, grizzlies are the most hazardous of all the big cats. It is not a good idea to try to intimidate it if it gets close to you. Act meek while maintaining a cool demeanor, and then make an effort to quietly retreat. Get into the fetal position and pretend to be dead if it does attack. Fight for your life if the bear is determined to kill you and is not showing any signs of losing interest in the hunt. If, on the other hand, the bear you come across is a black bear, you should make an effort to scare it by standing tall and making noise while gently backing away from it. Thanks for watching. Kindly like and subscribe for more videos. In the comments section of the post, please tell me how many you discovered.